So it's like to talk about this. Tajiri's new book. In Japanese version. It came out in 2019. Just few months before the pandemic. But the last year or so, he's been working on it. And there's another person who translated this into English, and Tajiri kind of contacted me and wanted me to read that version of manuscript and translated by someone else. And I thought I had to change some of these wording and nuance of things, and to make it more pro wrestling fan friendly English.
So more natural. Yeah, kind of clean it up, edit it.
Yeah. I'm very excited that this is a real good book. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to checking it out. It's it's there aren't many books like that just in English, or in Japanese. It's not typical.
Yeah, and also, like I said, it's like we have a lot of Japanese wrestlers, writing their own books, much like in the States. But it's either autobiography written by a ghostwriter, or it's almost like wrestling magazine book version.
Sure, like a long interview or something.
Yeah, American books are, in a way, a lot more honest about work. In Japan, it's more. It's not complete 100% kayfabe style, but it's more.
Protected.
And or dignified.
Okay.
It's not.
I know what you mean.
We can talk about secret, but it's dignified, and it's not expose, but you have to touch upon subject.
What I noticed with that, especially when you watch the more like newsy programs, like on Samurai TV, Battle Men and such, there's it's almost like they tell you everything without telling you a flat out lie. There's no lying, but they protect
wrestling
and
journalism
dignify
in
everything.
Yeah. Yeah, wrestling journalism in Japan. It's like I was so trained that way.
Tokyo Sports is a good example of like this. Like but
the Tokyo Sports is total fantasy though.
It's a good starter to kind of introduce the idea.
Right.
Protecting they're not
business,
peeling the curtain back. They're just it is hard to explain. It's kind of like a dance between
what I
exposing
explain is
everything.
that you can actually show how to do this magic trick. You still can't do it.
Right. I see.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I see.
Knowing isn't not really understanding. Yeah. Or fully comprehending, or
I feel like there's a strong but small number of hardcore Japanese wrestling fans that do dig deeper and end up reading the Wrestling Observer, and they want more of the real what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, by reading Observer, you actually lose a lot.
Yeah.
Like I finally found out this was how it was, right? Then why did you get so excited in the first place? You lose it. I
see.
After reading Observer or the American style wrestling journalism, you have to come back and ask yourself the same question. Okay, what is it for you then? You know what I'm saying?
Which is interesting because right now wrestling media is an more important element than ever with what's going on in modern American wrestling. It's not a huge part of the business, but it's more out in front and attached, and a lot of people they're going to get their news.
Internet oriented,
internet oriented.
American wrestling media, print media never got that far, or got that style.
It's also we've been in a culture.
Wrestling Observer was never meant for a general public audience.
That's right. It's like a trade magazine.
Yeah, and then it's mail magazine basically. You use now on the internet, but when they started, it came in the mail every week. Snail mail. Yeah.
But also over here, we have to factor in the late '90s. Vince McMahon went on TV and said very bluntly, "This is not a athletic sport." Blah blah blah. We lost our innocence early on with wrestling.
Yeah.
And there were even shows on MTV like this is like a training. This is how we train a wrestler.
Yeah. But the MTV doesn't know at all What they don't know is Vince McMahon said that though, but WWE will never announce who's going to win the championship beforehand.
They won't. No. Yeah, it's just
I mean, the audience will go in there without knowing, without knowing in the outcome of it, just like going to watch a movie for the first time.
I think
if you like the movie, you watch twice though, 3 times. But
sure, of course, or a song. It's the same thing. But I think nowadays, the mainstream fans they don't just want to see what happens in the match. They just want to see what's going to happen. What is going to be the outcome of this? What's the consequence? Is it going to be newsworthy? Is it going to be a moment?
Yeah, then you understand less, actually.
Because what's it about? It's not about a match or a fight or a contest anymore. It's
what you understand from that content.
Mm-hmm.
Or what was the meaning of the outcome. Knowing outcome isn't understanding the whole thing in the big picture.
Just like a mystery story, like Sherlock Holmes. We find out
who killed the guy
in the beginning. It's
Yeah.
how they did it, why they did it, such.
Why did it? Yeah.
But again, it's just like you said. How if a company like WWE doesn't have a plan, I always hear this argument. Okay, when I and friends and colleagues, we talk about, oh, this works and this doesn't. We get we're hardcore fans and we like to really dissect what we're watching and figure out why it works, why it doesn't. And there are always a couple fans that what they want to do, or what we want to do, is not exactly. They say, oh, just relax and enjoy it. Just relax and enjoy it. But I think that if you're offering a product that is, it's not as clear cut as, say, a contest between 2 people, there's a winner and a loser. If you take that out and you start doing entertainment and you start changing things week to week, it, like you said, it confuses the fan, might confuse the wrestler or the talent. It's just what is not what's the point, but what's the intention or goal? How do you want the people to feel, and why do you want them to come back? It's hard to figure out.
That is exactly what's so unique about professional wrestling. That there are 100, fans in the room, 100 different ways to understand this.
Mm-hmm.
And every person in a different level.
Which I think is why wrestling is very different right now. Everyone has their own standard. They value different things.
Yeah. So the product is product,
Mm-hmm.
and And I think Japanese wrestling fans, there's a lot to do with that the whole Japan or the Japanese people being more reading oriented people, right?
Mm-hmm.
They read newspaper every day,
Whereas over here, it's a lot about verbalizing. It's a lot about the promo. It's a lot about what the wrestlers and the announcers say and what they do outside of the ring. That factors in even more storylines.
Drama.
Yeah. Whereas in Japan, the drama comes from out of the ring. It's in the match.
Yeah, actual content of the match. Stan Hansen, Bruiser Brody never cut the promo.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is always a little difference here and there.
Mm.